This video may contain offensive language or be frightening to some viewers. Viewer discretion is recommended. Faces in the mirror. The true story behind Bloody Mary. While holding a lit candle, go into a room that has a mirror and gets pitch dark. Then turn out the lights. Spin around 3 times in front of the mirror while slowly chanting, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. Then look in the mirror and you'll see the pale face and glowing eyes of Bloody Mary staring back at you. Back when I was a kid, that's what 2 friends dared me to do when we were bored one summer afternoon. It was too hot to go out and do something, and we had resorted to a truth or dare kind of game to pass the time. I'd never heard of the Bloody Mary game before, and was intrigued, but a little creeped out. Would Bloody Mary really appear in the mirror if I did all that stuff? Okay, I'll do it, I said, after giving it a little bit of thought. So I took a candle and headed towards the only room in that house that could get pitch black. The bathroom. To my surprise, one of the 2 girls that had dared me to play the Bloody Mary game was now saying, "No, don't," and trying to stop me from going. The other girl just kind of hung back and was quiet. She too was scared, but didn't want to say anything. They didn't think I would actually do it when they dared me. Or maybe it just didn't hit them that it could actually happen until I accepted the dare. Well, one thing was for sure, I couldn't back out now. I went into the bathroom and closed the door behind me, making sure not to accidentally put out the candle as I set it on the sink. I could hear the girls loudly scampering back to the bedroom, and then it was dead quiet. They really were scared, but maybe they had good reason to be. Who is Bloody Mary? I did as instructed and turned around 3 times while chanting the words, Bloody Mary. After the 3rd time, I cautiously looked at the mirror. Would there be some spin-induced optical illusion that would catch my eye and scare the crap out of me? Or the face of Bloody Mary? Or worse, the face of Bloody Mary hovering right behind me and looking over my shoulder. And there was nothing. Just the flickering of the candle, showing everything that was supposed to be in the bathroom, and not a single thing or person more. My friends weren't disappointed as much as relieved that nothing had happened, and quickly moved on to other subjects to occupy our afternoon. They never brought up anything like Bloody Mary again. The fact remains, though, that some people do say they see strange things, and even Bloody Mary herself when they play the game. There are many different rituals on how to conjure her in the mirror, often including doing things like whispering. I stole your baby, Bloody Mary, 3 times. Or for the truly brave out there, firmly locking the door before starting the chant. But who is Bloody Mary anyway? And did she really exist? And what is the story behind the freaky chant about the baby? I looked it up, and there are various theories as to who the woman behind the Bloody Mary legend is, but many believe her to be a woman named Mary Tudor. Mary Tudor is confirmed to have actually existed, and I'm not surprised that she's believed to be the origin of the Bloody Mary legend, as her life was often soaked in blood. In the shadow of the king. Mary Tudor was the daughter of the notorious King Henry VIII, who is famous for putting his wives to death whenever he grew tired of them. Mary was the daughter of his first wife, so ended up seeing an awful lot of carnage over the years as King Henry VIII put to death not only his wives, but a great many of the people around him. To make things worse, for years she was disowned by her father and made to do things like serve in the household of her younger half-sister as a reminder of her new status as an illegitimate child. She grew up in the looming shadow of her unpredictable father. He was the most powerful man in England, and he could make her life miserable or put it in danger at any moment. When Mary Tudor became Queen of England at the age of 37, she finally had a chance to do things her way, but unfortunately her way turned out to be doing things like burning people at the stake because they refused to follow the same religion as hers. Soon, large portions of the population started to detest her and her unyielding ways, leading to riots and rebellions around the country, and eventually in a new name for her, Bloody Mary. And then there was the problem of the baby. Or what was supposed to be a baby anyways. The ghost baby. It was greatly important that Mary have a child so that she could have an heir to the throne, and there was a lot of pressure on her to get pregnant. So you can imagine how overjoyed she was when suddenly she stopped having her periods, gained weight, and got sick in the mornings, like most women who are pregnant. As time went on, her belly grew, and 9 months later, the entire country prepared for their new heir to the throne to be born. Except, nothing happened. Day after day went by, and Mary did not have a baby, yet she still had all the signs of being pregnant. Rumours flew around England. First, that she had actually delivered a son, and then later, that she wasn't actually pregnant at all. Eventually, after several months of this crazy situation, Mary's stomach shrank, and her symptoms disappeared. It turned out that her baby was nothing but a ghost. She was devastated and humiliated. Later, she had another false pregnancy and died not too long afterwards. After her death, people started to add to the story of her life, and these stories contributed to what became the legend of Bloody Mary. The stories, often told by those who despised her, included outrageous and frightening things, like how she bathed in the blood of young girls to try to stay young. Some stories portrayed her as a vain woman who was always obsessed with her reflection in the mirror, and that her soul gets trapped in mirrors, meaning she's always looking for a way to get out. I stole your baby, Bloody Mary. So yeah, that's a pretty intense life story that she had. Tragic and scary, because it really happened. Personally, if I thought the ghost of Bloody Mary was lingering inside a mirror, I wouldn't taunt her by saying, "I stole your baby, Bloody Mary," but that's just me. Maybe you're braver than I am. But if you do play the Bloody Mary game and see a new face appear in the mirror, then at least now you'll know whose eyes are looking back at you. And run. Remember what you were like before you met me? That's what I was like. Lonely, depressed, so sad I couldn't eat candy. Jill flicks her arm and candy slides out from her sleeve. Mary, just say the word and we can be together forever, with none of these idiots to keep us apart.